Mirabelle here from Dance Rox, and we are back for another little story for you. So this is one of my favourite authors, Julia Donaldson, and she's teamed up with a lovely lady called Linda. No, she's not called Linda, she's called Lydia. Lydia Monks. And it's a very pink and sparkly book. I don't know how well you can see it. And today's story is called Princess Mirabelle and the Dragon Pox. Can you see in the mirror here? She's got pox all over her face. So get yourself nice and cozy and get yourself ready for our story. Here we go. Ellen had chicken pox. She was covered in spots. You mustn't scratch them, said Mum. Ellen put on her right slipper. She had lost the left one and went to look at her spots in the bathroom mirror. The spot on her nose was so itchy. Surely a tiny little scratch wouldn't do any harm. Ellen lifted a finger to her nose. Then she jumped when a voice from the mirror said, "Don't scratch, you might turn into a toad." Could this really be happening? Could Ellen's reflection really be talking to her? Before Ellen could reply, the mirror girl went on, "You've got really bad dragon pox." "No, I haven't," said Ellen. "I've got chicken pox, and so have you. You're my reflection." So she's having a little chat with herself in the mirror. We all do that though, don't we? I sing to my mirror. "Don't be silly," said the mirror girl. And the next second she had jumped out of the mirror and was in the bathroom with Ellen. "I'm Princess Mirabelle. You really ought to curtsy, but as you're my friend, I'll let you off." "Are you really a princess?" asked Ellen. "But you look just like me. You've got the same pyjamas. You've even lost one of your slippers like me." "Oh, no, I haven't," said Mirabelle. She paused for a second and then continued, "My slipper was stolen by a goblin." "They're always stealing slippers. They like to sleep in them." Ellen laughed. "Do they have little sheets and pillows?" she asked. Can you see the goblin here in the white bunny rabbit slipper? Sleeping. "Never mind that," said Mirabelle. "We need to get started on the cure for dragon pox." "But I haven't got dragon pox," said Ellen. "Well, I have," Mirabelle said firmly. "You see, a dragon captured me last week and carried me off to his mountain lair. Luckily, a knight came and rescued me, but when I got home, I came out in these terrible spots." "Did the knight want to marry you?" asked Ellen. But Mirabelle did not seem to hear her. "Now then," said Mirabelle, "on with the cure. This stuff looks good." She grabbed a bottle of bubble bath and squirted it into the water. Then, "How odd," she exclaimed, as hundreds of bubbles appeared. "Don't you have a bubble bath at home?" asked Ellen. "Certainly not," said Mirabelle, "but we do have bubble fish. They're much better. They swim about in the bath and blow thousands of bubbles." "But isn't the bath water a bit hot for the fish?" said Ellen. "Never mind that," said Mirabelle. "Let's get in. Can you see we've got a bath of bubble fish?" "We need some more ingredients," said Mirabelle when they were both in the bath. "Let's try this." Before Ellen could stop her, she had squirted a whole tube of toothpaste into the water. "Hey, now we won't be able to clean our teeth," Ellen protested. "But can't you get the fairies to clean your teeth?" asked Mirabelle. "No, I don't know any fairies. And what would they use instead of toothpaste?" "Well, our fairies collect dewdrops from rose petals and use that," said Mirabelle. "How does it stick on the toothbrushes?" asked Ellen. "I do wish you wouldn't ask so many questions," said Mirabelle. "Let's get on with the cure. How about this?" And she squirted in some white foam from the spray can. "Stop!" cried Ellen. "That's my dad's shaving cream." "Well, I think he should stop shaving, like my father the king," said Mirabelle. "Does your father have a beard then?" said Ellen. "Of course he does. It's so long it reaches down to the ground. He needs 2 servants to walk ahead of him to carry it. And sometimes birds make their nests in it. Ellen laughed. And do the birds fly in and out feeding worms to their babies? She asked. Mirabelle didn't reply. Instead, she poured a bottle of shampoo in the bath. How will we wash our hair now? Asked Ellen. I wouldn't bother washing it, said Mirabelle. When my hair gets dirty, I just say a magic spell and wish for some different hair. My hair doesn't always look like yours, you know. Last week I had golden curls and the week before I had, red ringlets. I do love that, said Ellen. What is the magic spell? I'll tell you later, said Mirabelle. And she splashed some frothy, creamy, foamy, toothpastey bathwater at Ellen. Ellen giggled and splashed some back. This was beginning to be fun. But then she noticed that the bathroom floor was getting really wet from all the splashing. Oh dear, my mum will be a bit cross. Really? How peculiar. My mother the Queen is cross if I don't splash the floor. In fact, she likes me to splash it so much that the whole bathroom is like a paddling pool. Then she paddles about in it to wash her feet, and so do all the palace maids. Doesn't the water drip down to the floor below? Asked Ellen. I thought I told you. Stop asking questions, said Mirabelle. Now it's time to get dry and put our pyjamas back on. But we're still all spotty, said Ellen, as she put on her slipper. The cure hasn't worked. Ah, that's because we haven't done part 2 yet, said Mirabelle. What's part 2? This. Mirabelle picked up a roll of loo paper and started to wind it round and round. Ellen, who laughed. What about you? She asked. We'll do me later, said Mirabelle. Carrying on winding. Before long, Ellen's whole body was covered in loo paper, and Mirabelle had started on her face. Then, close your eyes and count to 100, she said. So Ellen did. 98, 99, 100! Ellen ripped the paper off her face and opened her eyes. Where are you, Mirabelle? She asked. She looked around the empty room and saw that the door handle was turning. But it wasn't Mirabelle. Instead, Ellen's mum came into the room. Ellen, what have you been doing? She said as she looked at the watery, foamy room and the empty tubes and bottles. It wasn't me. It was Princess Mirabelle, said Ellen. She came out of the mirror. She was trying to cure my dragon pox. I mean chicken pox. Oh, and I suppose she's gone back into the mirror now, said Ellen's mum. Ellen looked at the mirror over the basin. It was covered in toothpastey bubbles. Yes, I think she has. Ellen's mum sighed. Then she looked at Ellen. Actually, your spots do look quite a bit better, she said. That one on your nose has disappeared. And look, she added, picking something out of the basin. Here's your left slipper. Ellen said nothing, but she smiled as she put the slipper on. She knew that it wasn't really her slipper. It belonged to Princess Mirabelle. Oh, now I think that was an absolutely lovely story. All about Princess Mirabelle and the Dragon Pox. Pox! And that is all from our story time today. So we'll see you back another day or in our next story time.